U.S. Marine Carl Sperlin Deckel, who fought in World War II, had a special message for his fellow Americans as he turned 100 years old. Sadly, he broke down crying over the current state of our country. Much of what American soldiers fought for in World War II has gone down the drain, according to U.S. Marine Carl Sperlin Deckel, who was interviewed as he celebrated his 100th birthday. Deckel says serving his country in World War II was the most important thing he ever did, according to Fox 13. But he was far from happy about our country's current state of affairs. The veteran and Silver Star holder said he wouldn't hesitate to put his life on the line again, but he regrets that the U.S. has slipped away from what he remembers. People don't realize what they have, Deckel said. The things we did, and the things we fought for, and the boys that died for it, it's all gone down the drain. The decorated Marine went on to explain he doesn't recognize this country. We haven't got the country we had when I was raised. Not at all, Deckel said as he broke down crying. Nobody will have the fun I had. Nobody will have the opportunity I had. It's just not the same. And that's not what our boys, that's not what they died for. According to Fox 13, the 100-year-old veteran went by many nicknames through his years, Buddy, Deke, Spur, to name a few. But he knows himself as a Marine and an American. Deckel went to war in September 1940. They shipped me straight out to Guantanamo, which was a Navy base, and put me in a machine gun company, Deckel recalled. Among his many commendations, awards, and medals, Carl Sperlin Deckel said his pride and joy is his Silver Star. It says gallantry in action, Deckel said, pointing to the star hanging over 2 rows of medals on his dress blues. It was an honor for me to serve my country, and if I had to do it again and I was the same age, I would do it, I guarantee you, he added. As fondly as he spoke of his memories of fighting for his country, Deckel admitted how difficult the struggles really were. We were scared all the time. I don't care what anybody says, we were vulnerable all the time, since Pearl Harbor particularly, Deckel said, adding he was blessed to be brought home when so many died, and that he tries not to question why. In the many years since the World War II veteran left the military, he has continued to make service his life mission, donating to food banks and participating in his church community. Deckel said he strives to always maintain a positive outlook, but sometimes reflects on the good in life and weighs it against the sacrifices made for it. He added that does hope current and future generations are able to appreciate the sacrifices of those before them. The Marine, who made it to 100 years old, also gave some positive advice. You just remember everything's beautiful and live every day to the fullest. Just enjoy everything you possibly can, he said. And here I sit at 100. They tell me I'm 100. I don't believe it sometimes because I don't need to worry about age. I'm not going to. I just keep on keeping on. Deckel's statements came the same day the U.S. lost the last surviving Medal of Honor recipient from World War II. Herschel Woody Williams died at 98 years old. Williams, also a U.S. Marine, received his medal for heroism from former President Harry Truman during the Battle of Iwo Jima in 1945. Williams echoed Deckel's sentiment of loss during an interview on Memorial Day in 2022, remarking to local media that he hoped to see a resurgence of patriotism in the U.S. I've been at this probably 25 to 30 times, but I believe today we had more honor wreaths than we've ever had before, and that's encouraging, Williams said during a veterans event. It gives me encouragement that we're coming back and that we will again be that United States of America that had so much patriotism and love of country. Deckel also spoke about the importance of unity, something he feels has been lost in recent years. We were all in it together back then, he explained. No matter where you came from or what you believed, we were united as Americans. That sense of togetherness is what won the war, and I don't see it anymore. Reflecting on his younger years, Deckel recounted moments of camaraderie with his fellow soldiers. There was a bond between us that can't be put into words, he said. We didn't just fight for our country, we fought for each other. I wish people today could understand the power of standing side by side. The centenarian expressed concern over the growing divisions in society, which he believes are eroding the values he and so many others fought to protect. It hurts to see people so divided, Deckel said. We've forgotten how to work together for the greater good, and that's a loss we can't afford. Despite his concerns, Deckel remains hopeful for future generations. He believes that education about history is a critical step in rekindling patriotism and unity. Teach the kids what we went through, he urged. Show them the sacrifices that were made so they could have the freedoms they enjoy. Dakel also shared a personal story of loss from the war, recalling a close friend who didn't make it home. I think about him every day, he said. He was just a kid, like the rest of us, but he gave everything he had for this country. I owe it to him to keep going and to share these stories. In addition to his wartime memories, Dakel spoke about his post-war life and how he worked tirelessly to give back to his community. From volunteering at local food drives to mentoring young people in his church, he spent his life honoring the principles he fought for. Service doesn't stop when the war ends, he said. It's something you carry with you. Dakel emphasized the role of gratitude in his outlook on life. Every day is a gift, he said. Even when things don't seem right, there's always something to be thankful for. That's what keeps me going. As he reflected on his 100 years, Dakel noted that time has given him perspective. I've seen the best and the worst of humanity, he said, but I've learned that kindness, resilience, and hope can get you through anything. Dakel's final message to younger generations was simple yet powerful. Never forget where you came from. Respect the sacrifices of those who came before you and always strive to leave this world better than you found it. Looking ahead, Dakel hopes that his story and the stories of his generation will inspire Americans to work together toward a brighter future. It's never too late to make a change, he said. We just need to remember who we are and what we stand for. Dakel also reflected on the role of faith during the war, something he said sustained him and many of his comrades through the darkest times. There were moments we thought we wouldn't make it out alive, he shared. But prayer gave us strength. It's something I've held onto my whole life, and it's what keeps me grounded even now. He took a moment to address the importance of honoring veterans and their sacrifices. When you see a veteran, thank them, Dakel urged. It doesn't matter if they served in combat or not. They all played a role. A simple thank you can mean the world to someone who gave so much of themselves for this country. Dakel also discussed the importance of preserving the stories of his generation. There aren't many of us left, he said. Once we're gone, our experiences go with us unless they're passed down. I encourage families to sit down with their elders and listen. Those conversations can change the way you see the world. As he shared his memories, Dakel spoke with admiration about the younger generation's potential. They have more opportunities than we ever did, he said. If they can learn from the past and focus on building a future based on respect and unity, there's nothing they can't achieve. Finally, Dakel ended with a heartfelt reminder to treasure the simple things in life. War teaches you what really matters, he said. It's not about wealth or power. It's about love, friendship, and the moments you share with the people you care about. Don't take those things for granted. They're what make life worth living.